Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Dave in here, always helping you play creatively. So here's my confession. I do not like the title of this video, Sound Like a Pro for Worship. That's because videos with that type of title, I often feel as though they over-promise, okay? And if you watch their video, then you will sound like a pro after you're done with the video. Well, that's not necessarily the case here. Really, I'm going to give you some tips that I believe will help you level up your playing and just help you begin to have a more refined sound. I'm going to give you 4 tips that I believe are going to be helpful for you. Let's get right to it. Here's what I would say is not necessarily bad playing, but I'm definitely going to call it like entry level. This is what I often hear from a lot of beginning piano players when they're playing for church. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, 3 in 1. All right, let's stop right there, okay? That's what I hear often, and we want to find some ways to refine that. So what is one step you can begin to take? You can start to use suspended chords. Now, what are suspended chords? Let's look at D major for a second. There's 2 types of suspended chords. Suspended 2 chords and suspended 4 chords, okay? So, to make a suspended 2 chord, you would take your third or your middle note, if you're just used to playing root chords, and you would bring that down a whole step. So from F sharp to E, that's your 2 chord. And that's really the chord that we want to get used to playing for worship music rather than major chords, all right? Nothing wrong with major chords, but we want to start to use suspended 2 chords. And I'll show you in a second. The other one is suspended 4 chords. And to make a suspended 4 chord, you would go from your third and you would just go up a half step. All right? So let's play King of Kings, and we have a D suspended 2, we have a G suspended 2. For our B minor, we're just going to keep that as B minor for now, all right? And then we're going to play an A suspended 4. Let's try that. Here we go. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, 3 in 1. All right, that's beginning to refine our sound a little bit. All right, so let's look at step number 2. I have a chart that you can download with all of your sus2 and your sus4 chords. You can go ahead and check that in the description below. We want to really think about our inversion or chord voicing. So I like to make sure that the melody is on the top of the chord. So what do I mean by that? Well, if we just sing the melody, praise, we find that that note is an A. And we want to make sure at least the first note of that section is on top, okay? So we have praise the Father. Now we go to praise the Son. Praise the Son. Now if I play this D, praise, that's not the melody. Now it's not clashing, but we can actually put that melody on top, which is going to be the A, okay? So I would play it like this. Praise the Son. And so we really get this nice open chord. And then we have praise the Spirit. Praise the Spirit. Okay, so this is going to be our B minor. All right, and we're making sure that our A is on top there. Praise the Spirit. Now, I decided to go ahead and bring that F sharp that was here down. And the reason I did that is I felt like there were too many notes on at the top of the chord, and we could have brought some more down to the bottom. And so it fills out the chord a lot more. Praise the Spirit. Now we're gonna have 3 in 1. So I sometimes play it like this. 3 in 1. Okay? 3 in 1. All right, just making sure that my melody note is on the top of the beginning of each section. So I have a step-by-step worship piano course that you can check out at playcreatively.com. And so if you really want to dive into how do you play worship music, go ahead and check that video out. Well, let's get right back to the lesson. Start using sus chords. Start placing your melody note at the top of the chord for each section. Just two things that are going to begin to refine your playing. All right, step number 3. Think about what's happening in the bass. Oh my gosh. So initially I began with a serious heavy hand. Praise the Father, praise the Son. And man, do I feel like piano players have an extremely heavy hand when it comes to playing Christian contemporary music, okay? So I recommend everyone start to take it up an octave. Why? Because hopefully you have a bass player. And even then, you don't have to play as heavy down at the bottom as you think you do, okay? Oftentimes, the bass just overpowers everything that's happening on the top or the chords up here, right? And we don't want that to happen. We don't want the bass just overpowering it, right? And so start to take it up an octave. And then the next thing you notice what I do is I may only play one note rather than play octaves. Now I know we may be taught to play octaves for other genres. I just don't think it's necessary, okay? Sometimes I think it's all right. Instead of playing octaves though, because you may be wondering, okay, so what do I do with the rest of my hand? You can play a fifth. So I'm playing a D and an A with the D, E, A in my right hand, okay? So I'm playing fifths. And so that's a good one to think about. Another thing you can think about is maybe, what if I played the 1 and the 7? Woo! Now that's fire. So, praise the Father, praise the Son. It really works on the 4 chord right there. Praise the Son. So we have our G sus with the 1 and the 7. Praise the Son. We could do it again here on the B minor. Praise the Spirit. Okay, we have the B minor and the 7. And then 3 and 1. So I don't do it on the A because really the 7 would be, the major 7 is going to be a G sharp, and that G sharp isn't in the key. The dominant 7, to me, it's too strong, and so I just don't like it for the ears, especially for CCM. So I leave it off of the 5 chord. So this would be A major in this case, okay? All right, so that's another one for you. Think about what's happening in the bass, bring it up an octave, go to playing 1 and 5 or 1 and 7 in your left hand, along with those sus chords. All right, here's your final tip. Start to use piano riffs in your playing, okay? And so a riff is a simple musical idea, all right? So this is a piano riff here. Okay, that's gonna be D, C sharp, A. And we're gonna use that same riff over our chords for King of Kings. So here's how it would sound. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, 3 in 1. God of glory, majesty, praise forever to the King of Kings. Man, I sang some awful notes. That's because I was thinking about my riff too much. I was singing and playing, and that's not always working out for me well. But so here's how it would sound if I didn't have to play and sing. All right, that gives you a little bit better of an idea. So start to use piano riffs. I like to, think of these notes here. F sharp, G, and A, or the third, the fourth, and the fifth of the scale. And here's an idea I might use. So I did third, fourth, and fifth, and down to the one. Okay. So just two little riffs for you. I have entire courses with just a ton of piano riffs that you can use, and I actually have a chart with some piano riffs that you can download. All right. So definitely go ahead and check those out. If you want to see more worship piano videos, especially a video that talks about piano riffs, go ahead and check out this video right here. But until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and we'll all keep growing together. I'll see you guys next week.